you've had this 1 month which has been turbulent. Almost several of Adani stocks are 85% of what Hindenburg predicted in terms of their meltdown. Could it get worse in your view? Is this only in a way perhaps the tip of what could lie ahead?
Rajdeep, we've been calling it in Business Today the Hindenburg iceberg. Because you know, the Adani Group just did not see it coming. You know what happened to the FPO, how it was somehow managed to have scraped through and then called off because the stocks just kept you know, falling, and we had a discussion earlier on that. Now, as far as going forward is concerned, I think there are several lessons to be learned from the Adani fiasco, if I may call it that. One is, you know, this whole business of controlling a large stake and not having enough floating stock has really led to a rally last year where 100% plus market capitalization growth was seen in Adani stocks. And that a lot of these people, you know, believed in, but actually turned out to be almost a paper rally, because if your floating stock is so low, obviously the stocks will become volatile and move in a certain direction when the going is good and crash when the going is, you know, is bad. So one lesson for sure is that the floating stock, and this has been talked about by valuation experts, that this whole obsession with control needs to actually go. You know, markets need broader shareholding by companies of this size and scale. That's one. But the more important part is about transparency. I think the lesson Adani needs to really learn from here on, and we don't really know where this bloodletting will stop as far as stocks is concerned, but the lesson which needs to be learned is you need to engage, you need to be transparent. There are lots of fogginess still continues about the Adani Group, and that's what the stock markets are hating.
So what, therefore, Hemendra Hazari, given the fact that there is still a question mark over exactly a lot of the transactions that were done, allegations that have been continuously made, even now are made over the role of Mr. Adani's brother Vinod Adani, about allegations of round tripping, we haven't heard from SEBI. Do you believe SEBI must now break its silence, do more than just that one press release that came a few weeks ago saying we are probing or looking into it? Do they need to do more, given that the meltdown continues?
They needed to do more right from day one, when the Adani shares were rising, when everyone knew that the floating stock in most of these Adani companies was very limited. There was such a huge and stupendous rise in the share price. And normally SEBI has excellent surveillance systems. And therefore, it was the responsibility of SEBI to have conducted an investigation at that point in time and to inform the market about the rise. Today, you know, one of the great silences, the great silence that we have is from the regulator. The regulator really has not come out with anything specific on this matter. And the critical point...
No, but the flip side, Hemendra, would be that the regulator will say we haven't had enough time to actually come up. We are carrying on our investigations. We can't short-circuit those investigations.
You see, when there's been such a spectacular crash, when I think it is more than, I think, $120 billion reduction in the market capitalization, one expects the regulator to give up its power of silence and come and reassure the market, because the market needs to know that whether the Hindenburg accusations have some credibility or not. The very fact that the market prices of the
So you're saying that SEBI has to provide some kind of reassurance to the markets that are continuously, even now, jittery a month later.